Hi everyone. So for my earlier video, moving on from that, I'm going to put some rounded corners on a bit more of a bit more complex form. So in this case, I mentioned doing a sort of cruciform shape. Let me just start now by sort of analysing the sketch I've already done. So I've done my brown sepia lines inset. Okay, this is where the radiuses are curving away. In this particular sketch, I'm going to make the radiuses bigger. Okay, so the interior curve has a radius in its own right. I've got to work out how I'm going to sort of sketch those in. So on these corners here, how big those curves are going to be. So I'm going to put a little offset dot, I think, on these points here. I'll make them quite big so you can see it. So sort of uniformly the same. Okay, and again here and here and again here to there. And you can see anyway, I'm putting those dots in, keeping them sort of consistent. Okay, that'll do for now. So this curve here, it's a fairly straightforward one in terms of sketching an elliptical curve. So I can sort of curve this form without too much issue. This one here is slightly more complex because you tend to undercook the curve. Now, I've already done a little bit of a sketch here. You can see just how tight that sort of radius is actually going to be. So again, it takes a little bit of practice to sort of get those in correctly, and not too worried if it's not like super brilliant. Okay, so that will sort of do. And again with this one here, again this in essence is like looking at this curve here, so you can see again it's quite a tight radius again, and again getting that sort of curvature in like so. This one fairly straightforward, I can get the curve in like so, and again this one's a fairly tight radius like that. Okay, I'll put the two dots in here as well. It's all happening all the way around. Okay, so this curve here, fairly straightforward. This is a sort of more challenging corner there. Okay, so you can sort of see where I'm getting at. So again, like the earlier video, I'm gonna make sure that my direction of curve is sort of compatible with each corner. I'm gonna keep sketching with the sepia pen in this case. And again, I'm gonna sketch that curve there. And I'm going to do that one there. And I can, in short order, sort of go around fairly quickly and sort of sketch, okay, my curves, making sure I'm in the right orientation, okay, each time I do that. So all this sort of front face is fairly straightforward, and I can sort of join the endpoints together fairly quickly. Again, I've got to put a nice curve in there, so make sure I make it round enough. And again, sort of junction that to there, interior radius on that one, so it's fairly straightforward. And again, follow this one down to here, and again I always find these ones slightly easier to do, and that one there is going straight, so you can sort of see that I'm filling in the shape quite well. Okay, now in my earlier video I talked to you about the faces which are away from you, how to decide where you actually see that curve. So it's the same situation with here. So if I draw another line between these two, and let's just put a line there, and a line between these two, put a line there, then that's going to sort of tell me where the curvature is curving down to. So again, similarly to the previous video, I'm going to put a radius curve here and here, okay, and I'm going to sort of curve down there, and I'm going to curve down there. Okay, I'm going to do the same on these corners. So there was sort of my line, and in between those two lines, so again this is my line, and in between those two lines. So these corners here need to be resolved. Slightly trickier proposition here. In essence, I want to draw my elliptical profile as if this curve here is the one being sort of considered. So there is an option for me to actually sort of sketch in a line across here. So get my pen working. Okay, and sort of sketch in that elliptical profile. So again, if I'm following this sort of curve here, again, I can sort of create that curve in. And you can see here, I've sketched it a little beyond actually, so it's sort of in that sort of, you can see it as it sort of would transition with these sections here. And what I need to do is just put that curve in. Okay, so you can see that. And again with this one, if I sort of sketch in my line, and again, you know, it's a tight corner, so where it would come like that. Okay, so you can see that's curving round to there. Okay, I'm going to fill in a few more of the lines. Okay, I think my pen's running out. Okay, and again, you know, same sort of procedure on the back. So the radius corners, put my points in just for you to sort of see visually. This radius here is fairly straightforward. This one's a tighter radius. These junctions here, again, they will go down to around about here. So there's my curve there. And again, there's my sort of curve there. Again, join those lines up. Curving round, you can see that. Okay. And again here, this is sort of diminishing, so put this sort of line in between, and this is my curving away. Okay, again this ellipse is quite big, so let's just sketch that form in. Okay, and again here, transitional line, put the curve in there, bigger radius going around that side. And again, it's going to be a bigger radius on this one as well. So there you go. Fill that section in there. Okay, carry on. Put that in. Points of reference. More tight radius on there. Okay, and again, get these curves in. Okay, again, that sort of line between those two to sort of curve those away. And again, the line between these two here to sort of curve those away. So pretty much the same sort of principles as I'm adopting with the earlier sketching of the box. Okay, now the only difference is this line here would actually slightly extend and sort of curve into the form there. And again with this one, you'd actually see that slightly doing like so. Okay, this one again, create a bigger profile like I'm sketching this section here again. Okay, so round there, and then this one would come round. Okay, again finish that section off. This one's fairly straightforward, just round that, round this. Again round. Okay, that's curving down. This one's doing this. Okay, and I'm just finishing off the shape now. So fairly complex structure, and just carry on and draw some of those extension lines down so you can see this is actually going into a bigger form. Okay, whatever I want that to end up being, I guess I can decide later on. Okay, so again, let's put that little curve in there. So fairly complicated structure, but if we break it down into its sort of simplistic forms, you can see it's sort of a manageable proposition. Hope you enjoyed that.